Get a nap. It's fine.
It's like, bruh, that was 8 hours ago. We might have to wait till tomorrow.
Lou, you're getting
I'm
old.
not in my 20s anymore.
Right, I'm almost 50, y'all. Hymns for her pleasure.
Did you see? I saw one of the. There was a headline that popped up on my news feed that there was some like one of like the more popular adult porn stars had like, I guess adult porn. That kind of seems like.
It better
Yeah, what
be.
other kind of porn is there?
Right,
I'm
that's what
sorry.
when
No,
I read
it's animal.
in saying that, I'm like, that kind of seems redundant, right? Like, but
You would hope.
yeah, I would hope. But
would hope.
I guess she was on
No guarantee.
she was on some podcast and she put like a ton of male performers on blast for all the bullshit that they do to get and stay hard. I guess there's all sorts of shit like medical things, like not just Viagra, like actual like bladders and metal rods and shit that you can like get put in your dick to like keep you hard. And I'm like, dude, you must really fucking love your job. Like, if my job pays me pretty well, but if they were like, sorry, you got to put a rod in your dick, I'd be like, nah, you know what? I'm good. Like, you
know
keep
what?
that.
Like,
I use popsicle sticks.
Yeah.
Nah, bro, you ain't doing it. McDonald's is
And
paying
tape.
twice minimum wage these days.
Yeah.
I will serve. Yes, I will give you fries with that.
You want to become a manager at McDonald's? Rod in the dick. Oh no.
Well, if you really want to work drive-through, this is what it takes.
How do you think they open the window when you have your food in your hands?
It's not the little pad anymore. It's a little hole like R2-D2 and shit.
It's like, right? Yeah, food in your hands. You got to press this button somehow to open the window.
But you know, we'd be R2-D2 that shit when we would, if we did actually do that. We'd be like, doot, every single time, and people would be like, they pull up to the window. What was that? Don't worry about it.
Then you back out, you scream like when he got electrocuted on that investment.
All right. Well, have we started the podcast yet?
And that's why we have a podcast and not working drive-through at McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we started 2.5 minutes ago. But...
Oh, shit. That number actually started like 2 minutes before. I just now noticed it.
Yeah.
You know, the big countdown at the beginning?
Yeah, when it was on the screen, when it said 5, it didn't say anything, but it read. It actually doesn't read either. It showed 5.
Displayed.
Yeah.
Displayed.
Ooh. No, that's like 2 syllables. Why would you do that when you can use 1?
He's white. Right. He likes complex.
He had to think about it. He had to look at his face. It was like...
I'm counting. My other hand was like this. I was like,
Display in.
That's even worse. Dude tried to go fancy. The Harvard education displaying 3 syllables.
So I guess we're finally done with Japan.
Hi, everybody.
I will preface this with saying
we'll never be done with Japan.
There will be, yes, we're going to be like Family Guy. This is like that time we were in Japan, and we'll diddly, and we'll flash back to Japan.
Guys, you remember when we went to Japan? That was pretty cool.
That chicken was attacking us.
That was pretty cool.
I remember fighting the chicken.
Yeah,
that was cool.
I liked that. That was pretty cool.
What'd you think? Would you go back?
For the chicken?
God.
No.
For the chicken? Yeah. Fuck, I would go back. Yes. If you were like, you know what, you get to live in a Lawson's for a week, I'd be like, okay.
Right? I don't know, Jack, man. If you Lawsoned every night,
I thought we were talking about fighting the chicken.
Eating
the chicken? Yeah, okay, we're good.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Well, you got to fight it to get it, and you got to win.
Lou and I were eating the chicken. Jack was choking the chicken the entire time we were in Japan. That's the problem. Is he should have came. You should have came to the room every night and partaken in chicken night with us.
If you're choking the chicken in them Japanese bathrooms at the first hotel, you're gonna break your feet or your elbow. One of the two.
For real though.
Jack goes through 15 faucets because every single night. Oh, sorry, faucet's broke. I can't get a shower. I can't get a shower or the sink. It's broken.
But it's Pride Month. Hey, I should change our logo to a rainbow just so we can pander and piss Lou off.
As long as you no, it's okay. It's just do it in every country. That's all. That's my hypocrisy comment. My bitching about like, you want to Pride Month, fine, do whatever. I don't care. It doesn't affect me. What it's just the hypocrisy of the businesses where like I'm not saying Disney does this. I'm just going to use them because I hate them so much. Disney will have their castle into rainbow mode. Their castle will be rainbow mode on their Twitter and X in the United States. But over in the Far East and anything like that, They won't change it because of the political shit. It's like, no. You don't get to do that. You either do it all the way because you really believe in what you're saying and supporting, or you don't do it at all. That hypocrisy is what I'm talking about.
Well, that saves me because I was going to find a Rainbow Chargers logo and send it to you, but you wouldn't care because it's just an American thing.
Yeah, see? So, yeah,
I do have
you
a
have
question.
to find more universal.
Can I ask a question going back to what you first said about hating Disney so much? Then why in the fuck did I have 45 goddamn text messages about shit being on sale on DisneyStore.com this week between you fuckers? I hate Disney so much. Let me spend $500 on pins and a jacket and my lounge fly and this and that.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. It was $700.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
700. I hate them so much. I'm going to wait until. I hate them so much. I'm going to wait until that shit's on clearance. I'm not going to buy it when it's full price.
Yeah, you don't get full price. It's like now there's a discount.
Except for the pins. Except for the pins.
Except for the pins. Those sell out. Because those will sell out.
No restock.
Y'all, save 30%. Just wait. All you gotta do. Just wait.
I did get a Hoth jersey loose. Now we can twinsy.
Oh, you know what? I have to order another one.
For old girl.
Yeah.
Wow. You got jacked.
No, you had to make sure he didn't get jacked because that's what would happen. It would show.
Yeah, because Jack still has it. So
it would show up and it would be like, oh, this is mine now.
Mm-hmm.
Although I do like some bitches in a baseball jersey. Jersey and a sports bra, sign me the fuck up.
Sports bra? What are you talking about?
Baseball jersey and nothing else.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
What's wrong with you?
Sports bra.
This guy.
You're
see, because when you start messing with them older bitches, they're saggier, so you need to.
No,
you know
what that means? Okay, you know how much effort putting your arms up like this, the shoulders hurt? When they saggy, they're down. Think about it. Put your hands up like this, and then put your hands like this, and tell me which one is less work for your arms. Yeah, go ahead, try it.
So
everyone at home.
That's why you're so good at playing with my balls.
Thank you. You finally get it.
Practice.
Yeah, that's why it's harder playing with Duke's beard up here, but cupping your balls is like boom.
Yeah,
it's easy.
That's why you don't do it anymore.
I don't have rotator cuff injuries and like that.
Last time Lou played with my beard, he had to have Tommy John surgery.
I was out for a season, dog. I missed the whole season.
Of beard playing?
I was gonna say Jack said Jack's kiddo's now to the age where he's gonna have to start being more, she has to have the girls that are gonna be playing in the same teams and stuff like that. He's gonna have to start thinking about, oh, she's wearing a jersey. Okay, she has to have something on. He's gonna have to start protecting himself is really what's gonna come down to, or else he's not gonna be within 500 yards of a schoolyard.
Thankfully, they just wear t-shirts for archery. It's fine.
Okay, good.
Oh my goodness.
And it's mixed gendered usually, so I don't even have to get into that dispute. So
I don't know. It makes me wonder why Duke's bringing this up. First he's talking about adult porn, and now this topic is where's he going with this?
It's been a long week, guys. Okay.
Oh man.
A long, hard week.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Was that with or without the rod?
It was a mix.
Oh shit.
But how you guys doing?
Oh my god. Good.
Too bad.
Good. Yeah. Nice quiet week for the most part. Minor shit here and there. I got to get some truck work done, but it's not crazy. $1,100 for the truck work that I'll do next week. And it saves me, from having to buy a car sooner rather than later. So anything to keep this thing dragging out as long as possible because I don't.
Yeah, we've been talking about Lou getting a new car for the entire.
Yeah, I think it was the second. Wasn't it the second or third podcast was when you had the multiple accidents?
It's been a minute.
No. He's right though, because we went back to February last year, right? That's when we started.
Yeah.
I remember at that point I had just had my car for 4 months.
Yeah, and then it got wrecked.
Yeah. And then it got wrecked 3 months later.
And then you had the other accident a month later.
Well, those two were 3 days apart.
Yeah.
But it was okay, I'll come back from Japan. I'll get a car then. And I was like, wait, why? I mean, if it's still working and I still got more shit to pay for, Denver Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, Colorado Springs Comic-Con, Disney in December. It was well, if I can drag it out, that's more money I can spend on other bullshit at those places. That means that's less flipping I have to do at San Diego,
right?
Although I'll probably do it anyway. Let's be real. So, but still, less.
It's just for fun.
Yeah, at that point it is because I enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You
no,
get
it
the
was
thrill of the hunt out of the way.
yeah. It's like the pin thing that started in Anaheim 2015. So it was like ever since then, it's just a matter of the fun factor of doing it. It's like I was talking earlier about San Diego Comic-Con with old girl and like the schedule. If panels come up, who's going to go to what? I was like, it's likely going to be y'all going to panels because I don't care as much anymore. Like I have my legal ones. If there's something
Right.
Star Wars that stands out, the legal ones. If there's something that stands out, kind. But that's maybe 4 panels over 4 days. The rest of it, I want to go hunt stuff and sell stuff and do it because it's fun, not because I have to. Which makes it fun is the fact that I can afford to, if I don't sell anything, I can still afford it. So it's like, okay,
Exactly.
now it's just fun. So it's cool. But you're right. It's definitely I don't think I thought about it that much, but it is a fun factor to be like, ooh,
yeah.
I got this. Ooh, I was able to go get this. I'm already thinking about where am I putting my lotto tickets on to.
Some people hunt African elephants. Lou hunts toys.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Give it 5 more years, he'll be doing both.
Maybe.
He doesn't want to go to Africa.
I was like, I mean, I'll go to South Africa.
Yeah, he'll go to South Africa.
I go to South Africa. We're good there.
Yeah, you'd be safe there. We wouldn't be. They're killing all those white people.
Nope. Maybe Egypt. I could probably go.
Egypt would be worth it. I'd do that.
Plus, there's some cuties. I used to work with an Egyptian girl back in Vegas, late 90s, early 2000s, and holy crap.
At the Luxor.
She was But that would have been a perfect place to take her if I was going to go to a hotel. I was like, I wanted you to feel at home.
And canceled.
No. What'll happen is we'll get big, and then people will go back and re-listen, and then we'll get canceled retroactively, like James Gunn did.
Mm-hmm. But it worked out for him, so fine. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Not so much for Kevin Spacey.
I did watch Baby Driver earlier.
First time?
I did like that movie. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Shaun of the Dead.
Even I've seen that.
Shaun of the Dead's one of my favorite movies, so I've seen all of his movies. I might have missed like one of his like OG ones before Shaun, but for the most part, I've seen everything. So, but yeah, good. Quiet Week is good.
I kind of enjoyed that movie. It was weird for me a little bit.
It was, wait, but it was super entertaining though.
Yeah, it was. No argument there. The same thing with. Like I was saying earlier, I just saw Mickey 17, and that movie was weird as hell. But I liked it. I was entertained with it.
But it was a good movie, right? I don't know if I'd have to watch it again.
I would definitely not. But I remember just like kind of watching this, and I'm tilting my head like, what the hell am I watching?
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoyed all of it. So it was, at no point was I like, you know what? I even put my phone down. I was like, oh, I'll actually watch this.
Right? Yeah. No, it was super entertaining. I liked it.
Well, it's good that you don't have to watch it again to actually get your real opinion on it, Lou.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this one.
That's how you know it's a good movie.
Yeah, this one of those no expectations, so I don't have my own expectations ruining it for me the first time, and then actually watch it the second time, like I do with Star Wars. The problem with Star Wars is I always expect good. It's like, you're Star Wars. How could you be bad? And then they're bad, and then it's not so bad.
So, I did see a thing where we were talking about how like the majority of Star Wars is actually not great. I think we actually talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Like on the whole, we love Star Wars because of like our memories that we attach to like
because we were kids.
Yeah,
just like how the kids now love the prequels.
But like the majority of the stuff that's come out since like the original trilogy has not been fantastic, right? It's been mostly mediocre to slightly good, but also some really bad. Like a lot of the novels, like we all talk about the Thrawn novels or the Zahn novels, the 3
Heir to the Empire.
Are like the banner, right? But there was also a lot of fucking trash that they put out that was tied to Star Wars during that time too. I mean, once the Zahn novels hit and they realized, oh shit, like we this is how we're gonna make our money going forward, and they just started like shoveling the books out because there were so many novels that were released right after that, and most of them sucked. Like they were mediocre at best, right?
And then Victor Prime.
But yeah, I mean, like yeah. So, but I think a lot of Star Wars, like objectively, isn't fantastic, But again, we attach our memories to it, so we always have that. I mean, again, with the prequels, right? there's nothing I feel like nothing the prequels could have done could have met the expectations that we had going into the theater that first time.
No, they can't make Star Wars for us anymore, I think is what the
But
problem
even
is.
in 99,
we're old.
There was already so much of a gap that what we remember and then what we attached to it when we walked into the theater it was never going to match at all, right? Like,
I mean, I guess I didn't mind episode 1. Episode 2 is the one I hate.
Again, minding
I like
versus
that
loving, right? Like,
loving was episode 3.
Okay, but my point is, it took 3 movies to get to that, right? You had to go through 1 and 2 to get to that point. My point is that that most of Star Wars hasn't been fantastic, right? Like, our expectations aren't met most of the time when it comes to stuff that comes out for Star Wars.
On that sense, I suppose that would be true.
So that's why I'm saying, like, when you say, oh, like, I always go in with such high expectations, so I'm disappointed. You're going in with those high expectations not because of the body of work, but because your memories attached to the very beginning of your Star Wars fandom. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just saying, like, I think that you're not saying.
That depends.
Well,
but I see what you're saying, though.
Yeah,
I see what you're
like
saying.
I think you don't go into Force Awakens going like, oh my gosh, like the last like 15 years of Star Wars stuff has been so great. I'm sure Force Awakens is going to continue that trend. You go in because you have those memories attached to that original thing, and you go, oh man, I hope they finally achieve what they achieved with A New Hope, Empire.
Well,
so you're saying we're drug addicts?
Yeah, basically.
We're always chasing a high.
Yeah,
I went in with that to episode 9, expecting a bad movie because of episode 8.
But that's the flip, right? That's so now you get so used to stuff being mediocre and or bad that now you go in, but you're still disappointed because it's not quite total garbage. If you know, like, it's not bad enough for you to go, oh good, like it was as bad as I thought it was going to be. So then you're disappointed in the other direction.
Right?
You're like, oh, well, this was actually not awful. It didn't come around to being good again, but it also wasn't bad enough to be bad. It was just bad enough to be.
Yeah, no. Totally.
It's mediocre. And that's the crappy part, is that until you have, and the problem is then you get these flashpoints of like the Clone Wars cartoon, you get the flashpoints of Andor and stuff where you have somebody come in who, I mean, Tony Gilroy isn't even necessarily a Star Wars fan. He's just a good filmmaker.
He is not a Star Wars fan.
But
you don't say necessarily.
Right. But the fact is he came in and didn't have all the baggage. And I think that's one of the reasons why Andor was so successful, is because he didn't have the Star Wars baggage that somebody like Filoni has, or even Favreau, where they have all of this knowledge in their head of the history of Star Wars and they feel like it has to live up to something, right? Gilroy came in, didn't have any of that. He just was like, oh, okay, like, here's my character. I got to get him from this point to this point. And how are we going to do that? And he did it without having to be like, oh, well, let's retcon this and let's change this and we got to have cameos for all the people from Rogue One. Like, I mean, again,
he still retcon. He retconned from Rebels.
Right, but he didn't. The thing is, he didn't pay attention to that. He didn't care about that. He was just like, I'm just going to write the story that I want to write. What?
And you think that's a good thing?
I mean, in this case, I thought it was. Like,
it was okay.
Well, they changed how Andor and K2 got together too.
Yeah, that was from a comic book.
Well, that was okay, but
which is canon, and they screwed it up. Yeah,
but now I'm talking about the whole, right? I'm not talking about one scene in one episode. I'm talking about the whole. So.
Well, there were a couple scenes.
Nigga, you gay.
You shouldn't talk about Lou like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, Andor screwed up the whole Mon Mothma leaving thing. By screwed up, I mean didn't match up with Rebels.
Not 100%, but it matched up fairly close.
It matched up close. Her hair was wrong. Her clothes were wrong. The speech was wrong. But yeah, it matched up. They went to the wrong planet. Yeah, so whatever. Other than that, sure.
Maybe it was a roundabout kind of thing.
You know, I could probably write an excuse for them screwing up going to talking about Yavin versus Dantooine. But the hair, no excuse for that. The outfit, no excuse for that. It was already given to you of what she should look like. So how they didn't do that makes no sense.
Did you see that article that was talking about there weren't more Rogue One cameos because everybody wanted to be in the show more? I didn't actually read the article. I just saw the headline. But...
I'm not sure I understand what you're saying.
So I mean, everybody was already in the show.
No.
That's what I'm not following. The people from Rogue One, Chirrut, Baze, Jin, all the people who weren't in Andor but were in Rogue One,
Right.
I guess there was some talk of them being in Andor at some point, not interacting, but
that
would have been weird.
but they were saying the reason why none of that happened is because they couldn't give them enough time to get to tell the story of what they wanted to tell, right?
Of
like
why they would be in there as a cameo.
Right.
No.
Right.
I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah.
That would have been a waste.
But
now, if we want to do another spin-off with Chert and Baze, I'd watch that.
Yeah,
right, that's fine. Yeah,
like what happened to the other monks when the
leading up, to Jedi.
And then
fine,
it can end when at Rogue One also.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's fine.
Again, you have that closing scene of him sensing Jin's crystal, and then bam, black screen, done. You know.
Holla at us, Lucasfilm. We got you.
That'd be all right.
Baby Chirrut and Baby Baze.
But
well, speaking
overall,
of background characters getting more, Tales of the Underworld. Everybody watch that? D?
Oh yeah.
Yes, that was the
Asajj and Cad.
Asajj and Cod.
Yeah, that was all right.
I'm glad that they're. I don't know how I feel about the Asajj Ventress stuff because they made her so evil to begin with, but now that she's like humanized, it's like
you kind of need to read the novel Dark Disciple.
Okay.
And unfortunately, they weren't able to make it the Clone Wars season 6.
Oh, they so should though,
because it should have been there.
A good novel.
So they turned it into a novel instead, and that novel helped understand Asajj's turn.
That was her and Quinlan, right? The book about them.
Quinlan Voss.
Boy, Quinlan saved
because
her.
the Jedi Council decided to authorize an assassination attempt on Dooku, and there was a debate on that too, of them actually going through that process of do they actually want to have an assassination. It was a really good novel.
And because Quinlan's always been like a iffy kind of black ops guy, anyways. Even before,
kind of
like his whole character's always been like that. Back in the Dark Horse comics, he was like that.
Almost like a gray Jedi versus.
Yeah, he's always been like the dirty guy.
Yeah, he definitely walked the line. And I really wish that like they turned that like the Tales of the Under whatever just. But the problem is, it'd have to be the Dark Disciple would have to be its own series. Animated is fine, but it'd have to be its own series because I believe it was supposed to be like an 8-episode arc or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
It was a long arc.
Yeah.
And then I don't have any history with Cad Bane really, so
nobody does. This was all new.
But I'm saying I don't have like outside of book. I knew I was aware of Cad Bane, but up until Book of Boba Fett, I hadn't watched anything he was in. So
I'm sorry, sir. Hold on. No Clone Wars.
No Clone Wars.
No Rebels.
Nope.
Dang.
Instead of watching Lost again, let's watch Clone Wars. Look up Machete Order. You watch Clone Wars in the Machete Order.
Yeah, I had to go to Wikipedia or something to find.
StarWars.com has that shit now.
Oh, do they have it now?
They tell you which order to watch it in.
But there is, because they had some episodes in like 2 and 3.
Because the movie is in like season 2 almost.
Yeah, it's so terrible the way it was released.
But my point is the Cad Bane stuff didn't really affect me either way because I didn't have an attachment to him.
No, it was fine.
But it was fine. I mean, it was whatever.
I don't know if it was needed.
It was kind of.
If it was just an excuse to give us more Cad Bane, cool.
Yeah,
but
I didn't need to know.
But also kind of seemed convoluted a little bit. Like it was like, oh, just very convenient that his like best friend is now the sheriff of the town he has to go back to, and his girlfriend, and like all of that kind of thing. Like kind of, I don't know. To me, it seemed like a little like, okay, like we just need to do this like 4-episode thing, and we need it to like fit in this little box, and we need to tell like his whole story from him being a kid to him being a gangster. Like,
I wonder if they took like old cowboy movies for that kind of inspiration, since that's kind of what he's always been based on.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's like old cowboy movies that do like the same thing.
Well, he was based on Old Blue Eyes from The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that would make sense.
But you're right. There probably is a cowboy story that followed that.
Very similar to it, yeah.
Again, I was okay with it, but it was like, okay, this doesn't really add anything for me.
Yeah, it was entertaining.
Yeah, it was fine. I liked Asajj's story better because I had more of a connection with that story, with watching Clone Wars and obviously reading the novel Dark Disciple. So the Bad Batch came back to Bad Batch last season. So it was like I had more of a connection to Asajj's story, so I liked it more. But I'm not opposed to Cad's story. Like I didn't think Cad's story was bad. It just wasn't. It was like wasn't for me. I was like, okay.
Again, I think we were just talking about this a little bit ago. Like, I would definitely watch Asajj Ventress and what was the kid's name? the kid Jedi.
No, I would not watch that show.
You don't want to watch another Lone Wolf and Cub
That's
story?
exactly why. It's like, here we go again. But as soon as that started, I was like, oh, she's going to drag this kid around. Here we go again.
But my point is that at least to me, it was interesting enough. I would continue watching that. I don't know if I would watch a continuing Cad Bane story after that.
Cad Bane is a good bad guy. I don't think he's, as much as I like him, he's not good enough to carry a series on his own because he just kills people. He has 0 allegiance. He doesn't even take care of Toto. Toto gets shot and he's like, fuck you, bro, I'm out. And that's his droid, buddy.
I'm with you on that one. The Cad Bane, and I would not want him to do the whole let's make him an anti-hero thing. Like, no,
leave him back.
No, he needs to stay exactly how he is.
Yeah, that's how he went out in Book of Boba Fett. He was 100% bad the whole time.
Well, you're assuming he went out.
This is true.
We haven't seen Book of Boba Fett season 2 yet, so we don't know.
Darn.
Not for lack of trying from Tim. He was all over Celebration, like, can we do more? And Dave's like, I'm doing Ahsoka. Bye.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they're kind of saying that there's not going to be a season 4 of Mandalorian. Have you guys heard about that?
Yeah, they said they're going to go to the movie route. Like, so after this movie, if this movie does well, if they want more stories, it'll be a movie and not a series.
Well, yeah, because Disney is like moving everything off of Disney Plus now, right? Like no more. Well, the streaming is no longer a focus like it was before.
Yeah, they lost so much money that they're not bothering with that anymore. That's what they get for going woke. Get woke, go broke. Oh darn, that's what you get.
Speaking of woke, isn't Ironheart starting soon?
Ironheart is starting. Yeah, isn't it next week?
Is it next week?
Maybe.
Or is it the end of the month? Something.
Shit. Right, you're right. It's
soon.
I don't remember. Yeah, but it's either this week it starts or end of the month it starts. I don't think it's the middle of the month.
Something's happening on like the 6th or something. I don't know.
June 24th is when Marvel.
End of the month. There it is. So it's the last. What day of the week is that?
Probably Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
I think they're
so the last Tuesday of the month. Okay, got
it. That's their standard, right?
And they're dropping 3 at once, I think.
Something like that. Yeah, I think
the first 3 because they know it sucks. And woke as fuck, so like, let's just get this out of there. Like Echo, it's basically another Echo where it's like, oh, we need to get this out there. We barely dropped the trailer a month before it comes out, and we're not. I guarantee them not let people review it until the day of, because that's how bad people think it is. Again, could be great. I hope it's great. I have no interest in it, but I'll still watch it just to keep up the conversation.
It can't possibly be worse than Secret Invasion, can it?
God,
no.
I hope not.
That would be wow. Yeah, at that point, you'd be like, just Batwoman that.
Look, at least Ryan Coogler is involved in this a little bit, so hopefully it's a little bit saved.
That is true. I mean, Black Panther 1 was better than 2, but 2 still wasn't bad.
2 was as good as they could make it without
understandable.
Yeah.
So you're right though. If it's worse than Secret Invasion, that's wow.
Yeah.
The mighty.
You'd have to try.
Yeah, there would be an effort to make that shittier. And I had high, and the problem is I had high hopes.
Whoever said you have to try was spot on.
I had high hopes kind of for Secret Invasion when it first was announced.
Me too.
Dude, it's a whole show about Sam Jackson. How could you mess that up? But also
the comics were really good.
The comic was so good.
Yeah. So,
and then they took a turn, and holy crap! Now they're basically ignoring that Secret Invasion even happened.
Yeah, right.
To a small degree. I mean, they mentioned it with is it a Skrull and
Daredevil?
Was it Daredevil? Yeah. Okay, remember, was it Daredevil or Captain America? But I think
it was Daredevil. Yeah.
So yeah, it's like, look, and I'm fine with that. If they need to say, hey, this didn't happen, fine, just move on. I'm not sure there's anything in there that was worth the damn that needs to carry on into the Marvel universe, Marvel Cinematic Universe. So.
I did see that Jessica Jones is back for season 2.
I did hear about that. Yeah, so that's accurate?
Yeah, no, it's legit. There's pictures of her on set with him.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
I saw a picture of her in her leather jacket with her torn jeans next to Daredevil in his suit.
Is it just her? Any of the others?
They haven't said.
Iron Fist and Luke Cage are in New York for an unspecified reason. The actors are, so...
Okay, all right.
But nothing substantiated. Just
that's
on
super cool.
That part. Jessica Jones 100% confirmed. She's done interviews on it already. But again,
Michael Cole.
All of them should have been in the fucking room when he walked in there in the season finale.
Yeah.
100%.
Although, what would be cool to get him in is we get that. I don't want to spoil it. In the very first scene, after he walks in, the door opens up. The front
And
door
then
opens
the
up.
three of them
and
walk
they
in.
walk in.
That'd be all right.
That would be.
I'd be
kinda
okay
cool.
with that.
And that's how you start the season. It's like, oh my god, that's like boom. So I'd be all right with that. That'd be cool.
I am way more excited about season 2 of Daredevil, since it seems now they have the blueprint, and hopefully, like you were saying, there'll be more like your complaint, Lou. I think there'll definitely be more B story and stuff like that. I think this first season was just establishing the stakes for New York, and now they're going to be able to have more characters and more involvement because we don't have to focus on Matt or Fisk. We already know their deals, right? We now know the game plan as far as going forward on what's going on.
Yeah, I think they did it. It did its job. Even without the B stories, there were a little bit here and there with Gandolfini's character, and that obviously his girlfriend, doctor, psychiatrist, who ends up hating. She in the comics anyway. She hates vigilantes. All this stuff. So they did their job at the whole Daredevil Reborn to reestablish who all the characters were. And everybody now knows who the characters are. They did their job. But you're right. I hope you're right anyway. They've got that established. We don't need to worry about that anymore. Now let's get into the story here come season 2. Is season 2 before or after Punisher's show? I thought
I have
Punisher,
no idea. I haven't heard anything about them
that.
filming Punisher yet, so I'm assuming the Daredevil's first. But I mean,
Yeah,
Ironheart's been filmed for like 6 years now, so
dude, for real, that shit got filmed in like 2021 or something like that. It's been done since 2021. But and again, they knew they had a bad product. Around that time is when they realized all that woke shit was failing on them, and it's like, oh, well, maybe we just sit on this for a while, and then drop it when there's nothing else to drop, or like they're smart. I hate to say it, like they're smartly doing, drop it now so it ends before Fantastic Four. So that now people can stop talking about that instantly and go to Fantastic Four. That is smart marketing. I can't knock them for that. That's what I would do.
But also, now that they've rearranged their schedule again, what do you guys think about that? With them pushing
Oh my god,
Doomsday out a year and.
Mm-hmm. Oh well, no, it's just 7 months.
Like 6
from
months
May
or something.
May to December.
But
yeah,
May to
it only
December,
went from May to December.
But I'm saying it's a year, right? You're going from 2026 to 2027. Like you're pushing it
Well,
out.
I don't look at. No, you're not. You're going from this. Aren't you going the same year to the end of the year?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I thought it was further out.
Yeah, no, because they talked about both movies at the same time, so it got confusing. But I think it's just pushed from May to December.
Yeah, the first one is only going from May to December. The second one is the one that's going to overlap. But that's because it was going from like December to May. So that's why it looks like it's longer than it is. But it's only 7 months delay. If it means delaying, I'll say this every time, like video games. If you have to delay it to get it right, no problem.
It has to be somebody's film schedule that they want
that
in
was
there,
my first thought. Yeah.
and they just can't for
Somebody
whatever
important
reason
to the
rearrange
story.
it. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they can't recast or whatever. So it's like, look, man, I'm happy
And
to be
they
in your
said,
movie.
you know what,
Sounds
it's
great.
worth taking this long of a break, eating this much money in production to get this person, this character right with the right actor.
Do you think it's Thor? Since Chris Hemsworth put out that Thor retrospective or greatest moments of Thor video on his own channel, and people were like, wait, what the fuck does that mean?
I'll tell you this much. I didn't know about that, but my first thought was Hemsworth, yes.
Because, I mean, really, out of everybody that's there, you have Michael Downey.
Or Chris Evans.
Michael Downey Jr.
Michael Downey Jr.,
Wow.
yeah.
He's an Ironheart.
I may have seen Back to the Future in concert last week, so.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was good. It was really good.
It's funny you say that because I've been listening to my pop culture film station when I play my solo video games, and for the first time in a long time, the Back to the Future theme came on, and I kind of stopped my game just to hear and focus on it because I hadn't heard it in so long. It was like, man, I forgot how good this was.
Yeah.
That main theme that everybody knows. Exactly. And it was like, holy shit, it was so good. But it had probably been a couple years since I heard it.
But it's surprising how little orchestral music is actually in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for sure.
So it was kind of funny because, like, you go and see it in concert, and most of the time the people are just sitting there. Like, it's So it's the first time I've actually where they So I've been to several of these. We've talked about them before. The popcorn movies where they have the full orchestra and then they play the movie on a screen above them. they actually played like the whole like Back to the Future suite before the movie even started, which is the first time I've ever seen that. Usually they just go right into the movie.
Right.
And then right when they came back from the intermission, I think it was the Back to the Future 3 Old West. That was the one that was in the Old West, right? They played like the Western like one of the Western themes. I think it was from Back to the Future 3. They played all of that before the movie started back up again. But I think they were like, okay, we have to like Huey Lewis. And
we need to give these people live music.
Right. We gotta
and so like they actually like it was like another it added like 10 minutes to the night, which was fine, but it was just funny how they were like, you would look down and they would just be like this, and every once in a while they'd get up and do and then they would like and then and then you know, like where you're watching Batman and for 2 hours they're just like like so it was interesting. It's the first time I've gone to a movie where the score wasn't like as prominent, and I never even thought about that until we were sitting there watching it, and I was like, oh yeah, like,
man, I wouldn't have thought about that either. And yeah, now that you brought it up, I'm like, oh, that's a good damn point. What's your next one? Next movie, Symphony? They're called something. I can't remember what it's called, but what the next movies with the symphony?
Not sure. There's a few options.
Oh, you don't like book? Okay, because I have mine booked ahead. That's why I thought you might have.
So the last like 3 years, my friends have bought 2 tickets for the whole suite, the whole 6 or 7 movies.
Okay.
Because they call it the popcorn series. So they basically every year, the one here in Portland, they do 6 or 7 movies. So they'll do like a Harry Potter movie. For a while, they were doing one of the Lord of the Rings movies. They would do, and then they just Goonies, Back to the Future, Batman, Ghostbusters. They'll do like, and between me and his wife, we would usually have 6 of the movies covered, if not 7, right? Because there'd be ones I'd be excited to see, and there'd be ones she's excited to see. So we would just basically split the one ticket, and he would just get to go to all of them. So
gotcha.
So they didn't buy tickets this year because the movies were kind of like, like I wasn't super excited. He was like, oh, we have an extra ticket to Back to the Future, and I go, oh, I guess maybe I said yes, I'd go until you bought a 3rd ticket, but he goes, I don't remember. Literally, he grabbed the envelope out of the drawer. He opened it and was like, oh shit, I have 3 tickets, and texted me and was like, hey, are you free tomorrow night? So like he had bought the tickets a year. He
bought to accidentally go to though.
Yeah, he bought the tickets a year ago, and he was like, do you remember saying yes? And I go, maybe.
It was a year ago.
I could see you saying yes.
I don't know if you know this, but I spent some time in Japan, so I mean that's really on my mind right now.
Yeah,
so.
That's all I can really think. I mean, that's all I've been talking about in the podcast for like a month now.
I get it though. I mean, Marty is about the same height as most of those Japanese people.
That's true.
The connection is there. He's wearing that life preserver, jacket in case the tsunami hits.
Exactly.
July 5th.
Got to be prepared. He's he's in the Coast Guard.
He's ready to go. I think mine for the season, but my next one coming up is the start of the season. It's because the season ended, I think, end of May, or it ends in a couple of weeks. July, the week before Comic-Con, actually, Jurassic Park.
Oh, nice. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I agree. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going for the movie or the music. I went either way. If you had to pick one, close your eyes. It's like
it's a Spielberg movie scored by Williams, so
you can't lose.
Yeah.
Well, that one, and then I know later in the year and early next year, it's Return of the Jedi and Harry Potter 4. I know for certain those are the 3 that I have for this season. I usually don't do Elf. I thought that movie was overrated. So I won't do Elf. I won't do Nightmare Before Christmas because that movie's really overrated. And it's not that I didn't enjoy it; it's just overrated. That's all. And I can't remember the other movie. There was one more. I was like, that does not look good. I don't want to watch that. What I want is them to do an R-rated night and do Conan, because the music from Conan is fantastic. But
whatever.
It looks like they're doing Goonies in October.
I did that one last year.
Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. That's the first one.
That'd be good.
That one's in September.
I would do that one if it was here, but that's cool.
Chicago, the movie musical. That might be interesting.
I would. That would be. Oh, never mind. I was like, I don't know if that would be. Yeah, no, it would be. I like the movies.
Yeah. Elf in concert. They doing a Star Trek: The Ultimate Voyage, where it's a bunch of all
Zooey
the different.
Deschanel is cute as heck, though, Lou. Come on.
Who?
Zooey.
What?
The girl in that movie. She's cute as heck.
Yeah. Zooey Deschanel.
Zoe. I was like, who's Zooey?
I don't think it's Zoe. There's
It's
too many
Zoe
O's in that.
Zoe Deschanel.
Yeah.
Lou, you might be interested in this one. The weekend of my
Please
birth,
cue this
the
heck.
weekend of my
You're right
birth,
about that.
the weekend of my birthday next year, they're doing Star Trek: The Ultimate Voyage. So they're playing a bunch of themes and music from all the different series. You might be done with all of them by then. January.
My goal is to be done by the end of the year. I
There you
just
go.
moved on to season 3 of Enterprise. Dude, we might have to talk about that seriously.
How to Train Your Dragon in concert.
I think. Oh, that was the other one. Okay, I think it was last year. That was the one from last year.
Yeah, I think you saw that one already.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, that was last year.
And then the last one that they have on this list is the music of John Williams in May.
No, it's funny.
May of
That-
2025.
That one actually is happening here. Fiddler's Green, end of June, end of this month. Is the music? But I've gone to music of John Williams probably every time it's at the main concert hall. That Fiddler's Green is kind of far. A girl actually was like 5 months ago. Hey, this is going on sale. Do you want to get tickets? I'm like, I'd rather, because I know they're going to do it again at the concert hall. So I was like, I'll just wait and go there. Now, if I had nothing to do that night and saw tickets available, yeah, I'll drive down there, make a day out of it.
But I used to do the Hollywood Bowl every year for July 4th.
Hells
Over the July
yeah.
4th
Oh, they would-
weekend, John Williams would perform.
Oh, hell
'Cause
yeah!
That was 10 years ago when he was in a lot better health, but he would
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the
Actually,
the Hollywood Bowl is the fucking jam to see a concert like that. It's just the way it's shaped and how they have everything set up is pretty fucking awesome. So
Yeah, we went for his it was a 4th of July one, I think.
yeah,
So
you
he
went
comes
to
out,
one
does
later,
all the
right?
yeah, it does all the patriotic music. Oh, that was cool. And he's like, just kidding. Here's some Star Wars for you.
What, you think I'm done? Indiana Jones, boom. By the way,
Yeah.
NBC Nightly News theme, boom, done. Like what? You guys
Olympics.
You guys like the Olympics? I gotcha.
Gilligan's Island, done.
By the way, back then I was known as Johnny Williams. What's up?
J-Dub,
I had long hair then. I was
Yeah.
a hippie.
Yeah.
right?
Me
They used to call me
me and Jim Henson used to smoke blunts together. What?
I don't know, man. After watching that Saturday Night Live movie, watching Jim Henson's, I don't know, his personality, I have a very different opinion of Jim Henson.
I really
wanna-
liked the Saturday night movie. I really did.
Yeah, it was
I thought
really
it was really
good.
funny. The assistant when he's in the room and they're all come out of the room. I don't want to come out of the room.
Oh my god, have you seen it, Jack?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's worth it. It's worth the watch.
Yeah, it's
it
pretty
really
funny.
is.
Billy
I
Crystal.
don't think I would have watched it if my coworker didn't say, "Dude, you got to watch this." I don't think I would have, and I'm glad I did.
And you only had to watch it once.
Let's see. Right?
I'm sure it's streaming on
Yeah,
Hulu
it's
or-
got to be on Peacock or
Peacock,
something.
yeah. I would imagine Peacock. It's NBC.
Netflix.
Wow! Oh, wow! Get my Owen Wilson in there. We need that freaking soundbite on your thing too. Wow! Wow! I mean, plus it's on point. You know, he was in Loki, so and he said it in Loki, so it's like it makes sense. Yeah. To finish up, just backing up. Did you guys Andor? You know, we got several arcs. 4
Yeah,
arcs?
no, I liked it. It was, it was more Andor.
I mean, I feel like they closed
I liked it better
everybody's
than the first season.
You liked
I
it
think-
better than the first season?
Yeah, I think it was paced more to my liking. Without going back and watching the first season all the way through again, maybe because it's just fresher in my mind. I like the little mini movie. Well, actually, the full ass movie every week. I kind of like that, and that it was all a self-contained story every week. Like you kind of need to know what happened before, but not all the time.
Gotcha. Yeah. And you're right. It's basically, if you put the time together, it was just plus or minus 2 hours every arc.
Yeah,
So it was 4
Yeah.
weeks of a movie. So
yeah. I liked it. I mean, Diego is awesome as Andor. It's too bad he's dead. Because it'd be cool to see his story continue, but obviously he has a shelf life.
yeah. Well done. I agree. I enjoyed it. That whole
Is it the second
Storm
coming of
Massacre
Jesus
arc.
in Star Wars like some people claim it is? No, I would rather go back and watch Rebels again. I would watch the entirety of Rebels before I'd watch Andor again.
I'd watch entirety of Clone Wars before I'd see. I know we've talked about it. You're more of a Rebels
Right.
guy. I'm more of a Clone Wars guy, and Duke needs to watch both.
Resistance. I'm a Resistance guy.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, that is up there. You know, I'm the one missing out on Resistance.
I'm an OG Clone Wars guy. I'm a 10-minute, you're in, you're out guy.
10 minutes for the whole season. For
2 minute
episode. Yeah. The 10 minute. I'm like, that's all the time I got. You want me to watch 3 seasons in 30 minutes? I'm in. Let's do it.
That
Duke needs a rod installed to watch Clone Wars, so he can last longer.
That really was a good series.
It was.
Well, I mean, again, it set the bar. It was set the animation bar for all the stuff that came after that, right? Like,
is there a name for those? Like, there's Rebels, there's Clone Wars. The other one was Clone Wars.
It's
too,
the Clone Wars. It's the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I don't.
The Clone Wars?
Yeah, I don't know. Is Clone Wars just Clone Wars, or is it the Clone Wars?
I think it's just Clone Wars.
Because I think they kind of retconned. They retconned all those, right? The 10.
Yeah, those aren't
part of canon. Yeah, that is not part of canon. But yeah, Andor was really, really good. I mean, kudos. But I don't know what new Star Wars. Like, I'm trying to think of what's out there. So we have Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian, Andor. And if I'm missing one live action, let me know. But
I don't think you are.
That's all of them. It's definitely better than. I don't know.
Okay, look. So it was written well. It was acted well.
All of them.
But is it Star Wars? Right? Like,
there's a question on that. Are people questioning that?
I do a little bit, because what do you look for in Star Wars? You know, we have the Empire, we have the beginnings of the rebellion, but I do like lightsabers. I understand that not everything needs to have lightsabers and the Force and everything, and that's fine. But was it Star Wars? Quotes.
I think so.
I mean,
I guess, but I also don't relate Star Wars to having to have lightsabers in the Force. So to me, it's a story in the Star Wars universe.
Right.
It's Star Wars.
And that I'm fine with. But if somebody's like, hey, let's watch Star Wars, you're like, fuck yeah, let's put on some Andor. Or you're like, well, fuck that, let's put on anything else, right? Are we going to watch The Mandalorian, go back to season 1, fucking finding Grogu, and the end when Gideon comes out with the Darksaber, right? So if somebody's like, hey, I've never watched Star Wars, what should I watch? You're like, Andor, bruh. All day.
I would probably say Rogue One first.
Yeah.
Before Andor.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I see your point. And
because that's more Star Wars. There's stormtroopers. Vader's in it for some reason.
There's a lot of stormtroopers in Andor.
But not like
there are a lot of.
Well, Rogue One was like a battle on a planet. There was no like planet battles up until the Gorman massacre. Like,
right.
You know, it was just Andor doing his thing.
But if somebody came to you and they're like, hey, I need to get into Star Wars, and you're like, you know what? The best Star Wars that will make you a Star Wars fan, you're not going to say Andor. Not because Andor is bad, but
it's out of order. They're gonna no, they need to watch A New Hope.
Let's go back to the beginning.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the anchor for everything, right?
I mean, I was there opening night, if you got to remember, in 1977.
Yes, I know.
You guys forget
how old
25
I am. Years old, so.
Yeah, so I was right there. So obviously I'm going to pick that one, refresh those memories.
Do you remember, Jack, when Star Wars Galaxies came out and they were like, it's going to be really, really hard to become a Jedi or a Force user, right?
Right. Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of what Andor is, right? Like, we didn't spend there was no like pontification about Luke and Vader and outside of like the mention of Vader. It wasn't like, oh my God, Vader, you know, the guy in the black suit with the lightsaber that could choke people with his hand when he's 5 feet away, and it was just Vader was like this figure, right? And I feel like that's more true to what the normal person would say, right? Like if me and you were having a conversation and we don't have
I've never seen Vader before. You know, I know he exists.
Yeah. You've seen
the
HoloNet videos or whatever, you know. So I wouldn't say it's the first thing people to see, but I think it's definitely on the list, right? Like, there's other things to watch before to give you a more complete understanding of Star Wars, but I think Andor, just as far as like from a ground level, I think is some of the best Star Wars.
So wait, so does that rationale, Jack, mean you don't like Outlaws, the video game, or is it not
No.
Star Wars? Rather, better question. Not that you don't like it, but is Star Wars Outlaws then not Star Wars?
See, and that's what I'm saying. It's not. I see what you're saying though. But this has, in Outlaws there are spaceship dogfights. There's smuggling stuff. You're fighting the Empire a little bit. Like you're doing stuff. So yes, it is like Andor in that way. Whereas Andor is a character-driven kind of thing, right? There is some action to it, but it's a good show the same way that like Schindler's List or like Law and Order is a good show, right? You're not getting all the action and explosions and stuff that you want to see in something that stereotypical kind of Star Wars, right? You want to see the space battles and lasers and all that shit.
Well, in that sense, yeah, I'd agree with you 100%. I mean, again, it's I guess I'm being too black or white with it. With the
Right.
oh, it's not Star Wars. I'm like, well, yes, it is. And
It
like,
is
well,
Star Wars,
Is it not
but
the expected Star Wars? That I agree
right.
with.
It's not,
Yeah.
it's not the Star Wars that we grew up with because
It's-
we're old dudes and everything.
It's not the toy aisle,
Right.
right? I mean, that's what you're asking, right? Like, if I walk down a toy aisle in Target and I look on the wall and I see a Cassian Andor figure and I see Darth Vader and I see Luke Skywalker,
Mhm.
out of those three figures, what is going to scream Star Wars to you, right?
Right.
And it's going to be Luke and Vader, of course.
Right.
But does that invalidate Andor from being part of the Star Wars universe?
No, not at all. 100%.
No,
I'm not
which
saying
is not
that.
what he said. Yeah, he
I'm
did not
just
say
saying
that.
that if you wanted somebody to be a Star Wars fan, because I still have people tell me all the time, I've never watched Star Wars. Okay, what the fuck is wrong with you? I wouldn't say, well, if you really want to get into it, go start with Andor. I would never say that to someone. Andor is for people like us that have been in this fight since we were 6 years old that want to expand upon that. Andor is not going to make new fans. I would not be able to sit my wife down or my kids down with Andor and be like, cool, let's watch this shit. No, I'd have to put them down in front of Mando.
But that wasn't its point, though. That wasn't
True.
I mean, that point
no,
was
I
to,
agree.
Okay.
This is to make cranky old dudes that hated the prequels and the sequels and everything since Return of the Jedi happy, which it did. But Andor is not going to make new Star Wars fans. So I would not say go watch Andor and you'll be a Star Wars fan.
Again, yeah, not on its own. Again, but it can't be. That's not what it was meant for. It was definitely meant to flesh out. If you only saw Rogue One, and that's your Star Wars experience, again, first of all, what's wrong with you? Then Andor would be great for you. But if you hadn't seen Andor, I don't know why you're if you hadn't seen Rogue One, I don't know why you're watching it.
Exactly. But
bottom line,
it was a good show.
It was. I enjoyed it. 100%. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
I could watch that over just about all the other ones. Mandalorian, season 1 I've seen a couple times, and season 2. So I already know where I feel on those. Obi-Wan, I could watch the final episode, and maybe that's about it.
We'll say.
And the first half of the first episode, because the whole watching Obi-Wan in the state he was in, that was right. I was like, okay, I get it. And then it just went downhill from there. But that first episode, last episode, sure, fine. The rest of it was just garbage.
But I think that goes back to kind of what we were talking about earlier, is like the baggage, right? Like when you have an Obi-Wan story that you're trying to like keep in universe and trying to make it Star Wars, right? So you go, okay, what else can we do to make it Star Wars? Oh, well, Leia's in Star Wars. It's like Leia, everybody knows who Leia is. Let's give her more of a backstory. Not that we need it, but you start folding in those things and you start kind of forcing, again, when you have the set pieces set up.
Right. That was the problem with Obi-Wan anyways.
I've seen a bunch of movies in the last 5 to 10 years where it's like they have like all the set pieces. Like they go, oh, we want to have a car do this, and we want to have the gun battle doing this.
That's called Fast and the Furious.
But then you go, oh shit, we have to have things to connect all of those. So then they kind of write the flimsiest, just the minimum. the minimum amount to get from one action set piece to the next. And that's kind of how I felt with Obi-Wan, was that they had like somebody, they had vision boarded what they thought an Obi-Wan series should include. And they're like, well, we can't have Luke in it because Luke doesn't know who Obi-Wan is, but we can put Leia in it because, you know, they don't ever see each other or meet in the original trilogy, right? So like, they never interact. So you can have a story with Obi-Wan and Leia and have them know each other because.
Well, yeah, there was enough not said in the original trilogy that allowed for them to be together.
My point is that they had all of these ideas of things that they wanted to put that were Star Wars ideas, right? Not that they were good story ideas or good narrative devices or good character development things. It was, we need to have this, and we need to have Obi-Wan and Vader fight again. Did you necessarily have to have them fight in season 1? I mean, but my point is that they had all of these things on a pinboard that they were like, well, these are the parts of the story that we want to tell, so how are we going to make all this work? And
just like the fucking Reva, not necessary.
But again, like you have this idea of like, oh, we have this idea of Inquisitors, right? Now we're trying to push Inquisitors everywhere, right? Because we did that we had them introduced with Rebels, and right, that was Rebels where as far as like being on the screen, because I think they might have been talked about in like the novels and stuff before, but
they don't count anymore.
But
yeah,
my point is like, my point is you have this vision board that has all these words that you're like, okay, we got to insert all of this stuff, and you're like, okay, well, we want to put an Inquisitor in there, but we can't have this set of Inquisitors because we already have stories for them after Obi-Wan, right? So we let's just put another Inquisitor in, and let's have her have these things where she's questioning things and stuff, even though before that no Inquisitor had ever questioned the motives of what they were doing and why they were doing them, right? That type of thing. And so you had all these ideas, and then they were like, well, let's just throw it on the board and we'll put strings between the stuff that we think works. And that's why you got Obi-Wan, right? Like Obi-Wan could have been a really good story. Like you were saying, it started out really good, but then when they started doing Star Warsing it up, it like.
So everybody out there, the TLDR is bad writing.
I don't even know if it was the writing. It was bad ideas. But my point is that was bad ideas to start from, and from those bad ideas, you're writing to those bad ideas, which means narratively your writing is going to be hindered because you're writing to the idea as opposed to writing to the character or writing to the story. So,
I would probably go back and watch Ahsoka again. I mean, not just because there's a second season, but actually going back and watching a bunch of Celebration Japan, because they are talking to Rosario a lot. They are talking a lot about, they're talking to Hayden a lot. I'm like, maybe it wasn't too bad.
I think there were some great ideas in Ahsoka, but I don't know if they were executed well. Like, the whole Balin Skull character and his apprentice and how they fit into things, kind of being more rogue Jedis or rogue Force users.
Balin's and Shin's story are probably the only ones I really care about from that show, because I've been a huge Thrawn fan for years, but his story I care less about because he's not in the future, so we know that's not going to last. So because I know that, if I didn't know that, I'd probably care more. I'm like, ooh, where are they going with him? I'm like, well, he wasn't in the sequel trilogy, so what do I care?
Maybe he got exiled back to
the
ascendancy.
The out.
But are they gonna start new Star Wars in a different galaxy? I don't know. Are they gonna do anything with that? If they're not, I don't care. Like, I care about what's going. Like, but strangely enough, I also care about 25,000 years ago for that trilogy that's coming out in a decade or so. But it's just Ahsoka was. The whole Sabine Jedi, it's like, god damn it.
That is the part I'm very iffy on. Like, just out of nowhere.
But
it's like, she can be a Jedi now.
But these two didn't really hang out ever, and all of a sudden that's your fucking apprentice.
Going back to what we were just talking about. But it's Star Wars. You got to have a master, got to have an apprentice, you got to have Force people all the time, and you got to have them.
But
again, that's my point.
Didn't
right?
have to be a Jedi for this story. She could have just gone and picked Sabine up to go look for Ezra, who is already a Jedi.
Right.
And now we have our two Jedi.
And there's your apprentice.
But again, it goes back to how much Star Wars is two Star Wars, right? Is it two Star Wars when everybody has the Force and everybody is a Force user? Or is it You know, like where's the
Where's the line drawn?
Where's the line drawn? Right? You have Andor who had one Force user, right? And then you have Ahsoka where everybody in the fucking droid is a Jedi master. You know, like it's Chopper's out here. Chopper's out here with 4 lightsabers. Like, what's going on? Bring Grievous over here. Let's fucking get this on. Like, you know,
Chopper would have fucked Grievous up though. I mean,
and his whole family line.
Yeah,
if he had one.
Yeah,
that's what Chopper does.
He would have found his planet and fucked that shit up.
Right? He would have like, I'm a freaking build my own Death Star.
For real, Chopper is a Death Star.
Yeah.
You see Chopper just go to Grievous's planet and just Qui-Gon the door, just like on the planet, just shove the lightsaber in and just crank that shit up to 10. You just see and it takes 3 days, but it's fine because eventually the planet does blow up.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would be so funny.
But that's the thing. It's like, what's the line, right? Like,
yeah. And that actually disappointed me in Dave that he did that. There was zero. If something happened in Rebels that said, "Hey, Sabine could be Force sensitive," cool, 100%. Okay. I'm with you. But because it wasn't there, and then all of a sudden we're 5 years after Jedi, and all of a sudden she did go through Jedi training. I'm like,
it's crock of shit. It's like Finn in the sequel trilogy showed more that there was potential there, especially the last movie. Yeah, as a potential Jedi Force user. And I'm just like, again, that whole Sabine, it was like,
wait, is indications of Force abilities just being able to yell someone's name repeatedly over and over again?
Yes.
Oh God, yes. That's like number one step.
Because she never said her name. He just knew.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Actually, all 3 movies, he was trying to say, he was like, Rey, and then she would ignore him because if she would have acknowledged him, he would have said, "You're a Skywalker."
Exactly, because he already knew that shit.
I wonder, has anybody, if you guys know, done the counts on how many times he yelled her name?
Dude, I'm sure there's a YouTube video. Right.
Hang on, I'm looking it up while we're talking.
All it is just different clips of Rey.
How many times did Finn yell Rey's name in Star Wars?
ChatGPT, see what pops up. I am very curious.
Finn yells Rey a total of 8 times in the Star Wars sequel. 4 times.
Oh
wait.
That's it.
Oh, so it's different, right? So again, this is according to
whatever.
Yeah.
JoeBlow.com or
Finn yells Rey a total of 8 times in the Star Wars sequels, 4 times in The Force Awakens, and 4 times in The Last Jedi. And Rise of Skywalker, which have you guys seen that? I'm not. That doesn't.
That movie? Is that a movie?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did it come out already?
Finn says Rey multiple times, both casually and when yelling, but the exact count is not specified. Oh, never mind. Give me a second here. It failed me. I thought it was just going to say he said it a lot, but didn't yell it. Okay. Episode 7, casual 4, yelling 3. Episode 8, casual 3, yelling 1. Episode 9, casual 4, yelling 3. And then the response is, okay, that would have been a really shitty drinking game. Thanks.
Still sober.
Oh my God.
Holy shit, there's a drinking game for Rise of Skywalker.
Sold.
Uh-oh. Drink
once
when anyone's...
once the outdoor patio's done, we'll watch it outside and drink.
There we go. Drink when anyone...
Yeah, drunk people are on the pool.
We won't be in the pool. We'll be next to the pool.
Drink when anyone says Jedi. Drink when anyone says Luke or Skywalker. Anyone that says Palpatine or Emperor. They go to a new planet. A lightsaber is turned on. A ship or vehicle is destroyed. The extreme version is add Exegol for an additional 20 drinks.
Jeez.
So there you go. There's your numbers.
That's crazy.
They did say during Celebration that Akbar and Thrawn are going to go head to head.
Well, obviously Akbar wins.
Yeah. Akbar always wins because he knows it's a trap.
You
know what? He knows it's a trap, so he obviously has Force abilities too.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Wait,
look, the Force surrounds us and binds us.
And
penetrates us.
Yeah.
Stay out of my bedroom, Jack. Have they said a time frame between the Mando movie and Ahsoka season 2 since they're in the same universe? Since there's kind of
I have not heard like when that takes place.
I haven't heard anything either. Some of you guys did know.
I know that Zeb's and Ahsoka. We're gonna get a full Rebels reunion. in Ahsoka
minus,
too.
yeah, minus Kanan.
He'll be
Actually,
he'll be in a picture in a back against. He'll be in a picture on the wall of the Ghost. They'll all be standing in the Ghost,
Well,
and he'll be.
He is on the cockpit picture.
Yeah,
You know, he is
they
in
have
the
a picture of
cockpit
him.
picture.
When we went to go see Final Destination, they showed I Know What You Did Last Summer trailer, and I didn't watch anything about it. And he showed up. I'm like, it's Kanan. He needs to show up in Rebels.
Yep, I saw that one too, and it was like, oh shit, he is still doing work. So get your ass in the show. What are you doing, buddy?
Let's go.
Man.
One of these times we'll actually talk about movies, since we're an hour and 7 minutes in already.
we still got 23 minutes to talk about movies.
We'll barely make it through one movie.
Lightning round.
That's fine. Pick one. Which one we all see?
I mean, what were the ones we were going to talk about last week?
Sinners, Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts.
Not sure if I see anything else that would qualify.
I thought there was
I haven't seen Mission Impossible yet.
I have not either. I thought there was a third movie
haven't seen Accountant 2, haven't seen Amateur.
Maybe it's just Sinners and Thunderbolts. I thought there was a third movie, but I could be wrong.
Well, we were talking about three things, and the other one was Andor.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what you're thinking. Those three things. It was Andor, Sinners, and Thunderbolts.
Well, Sinners then. Let's start. We'll just start on top. I dug it. I was in. My oldest was like, I want to go see that. I'm like, okay, twist my arm. And then
I would have guessed that.
Right. Then we dragged wife along. I didn't think she'd be into it, but she's like, no, that was a really good movie. And it was. I mean, Michael B. Jordan acted his ass off.
I mean, yeah, it's very, very great direct-to-BET movie. It was fantastic. I actually liked that movie. I mean, even if there wasn't a white woman for the first half hour, it was still really good.
And she's married now.
I know. Over the weekend, yeah. Damn.
I give it 6 months.
Hawkeye. You know what? That's a good point. With her being Hollywood and out in L.A., him in Buffalo,
right,
in New York. I mean, how is that supposed to work?
Well, where did she grow up at? Right, like where was she born?
I don't know. Yeah,
because maybe she's down with the cold. You know what I'm saying? And then
And granted, it's only good.
No, she's from Tarzana. That bitch is not living in the snow.
No. but I suppose
Tarzana was getting traded to the Raiders.
Yeah, no shit.
You know what I mean. She would only have to do the Taylor Swift thing. But once let's see, it's the Buffalo Bills, so they'll be out of the playoffs the first second round. So once mid-January gets here,
you go back to acting full time.
All of them go back to Holly. Because I think he would go with her to Cali.
Yeah.
And she's close enough to New York City where there's jobs there. I know they're not filming there, like commercials,
Vancouver
fashion,
and shit.
that type of shit. Yeah, she can do Vancouver.
Tarzana, she doesn't even know what 50 degrees is like in Tarzana. Let's be real.
I mean, she did go to New York to film Hawkeye, so maybe she can just do another season of Hawkeye while she's up there.
Well, because they won't pay Jeremy Renner or anything.
Dude, they wanted to pay him half of what they paid him for season 1. That's fucked, dude. That's so fucked up.
I'm on his side on that. I want another season of Hawkeye, but if you're not going to pay Hawkeye, no, we're out.
Yeah, you're gone. Although, is she somebody that can show up in Daredevil?
She could.
Depends on the timeline.
Although, no, what was the credit scene for Miss Marvel? Weren't they all going out to California or some shit?
Well, she went. Just Kamala went to California. I thought
to meet up with Kate, and
I thought she was gonna. I don't know that both of them were gonna go because she met up with Kate first, right?
Yeah.
And then I thought they were gonna go to. Oh no, I thought Kamala was gonna go and she was gonna stay, but they didn't really say. Yeah. So it's possible that they went out to San Francisco.
So anyway, Sinners.
Yeah.
No, it was good. I mean.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked the mid-credit scene was fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
End credit scene was stupid.
Yeah, it was.
But overall, the movie was pretty. It was kind of funny. I don't know about you guys, but I'm thinking the movie's over. Then I forgot about the whole. They're gonna show up and lynch y'all. I'm like, oh wait, he has to handle that too.
Yeah.
Like that last 5 minutes, I was like, I forgot that was
right. I was like, okay, cool.
I was like, what is he doing? Yeah, I'm like, what is he?
Everybody's
doing?
dead. And then it went back, and then white dudes got out. I'm like, yeah.
It's like I forgot about it. It's like, they got an extra 5 minute, 10 minute scene, and then
blood and guts. So, and my man had a whole freaking armory in his.
He
trunk.
did. Like he had the whole. And obviously they foreshadowed in the beginning of the movie where they're like, oh, I left this out there. It's like, oh, don't worry about it. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, the big gun or whatever.
Thinking
it's a shotgun. No, my man had a machine gun.
Yeah, he had a bar.
That's what I was
He had a
thinking. No,
bar. He was straight up
Ugh.
Saving Private Ryan and that shit.
Right.
And I suppose ending in the 90s with the fashion was fantastic with that mid-credit scene. I wonder if there's going to be a sequel.
There is. He said he's doing
they already did.
something
Okay.
else first. He's working on something else. I think it's a
Who-
TV
wait.
series.
Kugler.
Who's he?
Kugler.
Okay.
He's working on a TV series he wants to get started, but it is on his list to do a second one. But if we can get them in the 90s, I'd be down.
Well, even then, they could do 70s. They could go anywhere
That's true.
between was
Like,
it 32,
what were they
19,
doing the whole time?
Yeah, between 1932 and
and
1992, they could just figure it out.
If the anchor of your movie is music, you can really just go to any decade.
That's true.
And whatever the music is going on at that time.
I mean, you don't even have to have the same cast. You can, you don't have to bring Haley Stanfield back or Michael B. Jordan. Like, you could have a completely different cast because, again, like those pockets of people, obviously.
Look, Michael B. Jordan would get me in the theater, though.
But
you'd have to
my
have
point
really
is,
good.
there's other actors that would also get you in the theater, right? You would get in the theater for Michael B. Jordan because you know of him from Sinners. But I would be interested to see how he decides to cast this one for Sinners too.
It'll be Michael B. Jordan. It's Ryan Coogler. I don't think he's ever made a movie without Michael B. Jordan.
That's fair. Yeah. All right. True enough. True.
They might be the same guy.
Have you seen them in the room together?
At the same time,
I would say that this is definitely in contention for a movie of the year for me. Like it met like all of my expectations. And
yeah, no, I don't think there's any bad parts of it. I mean, like Lou said, the end credit scene was silly. It was cool, but you didn't have to stick around for it.
Right, I appreciate what they were doing, why they did it to show the kid and the talent, and we only really got to the one song from the party. So I was like, I get that. I can totally appreciate it. It was just like, I wouldn't tell anybody. It's like, stick around for the extra 2 minutes to watch the mid-credit scene.
And that's what I told you. I said, nah, watch the mid-credit. And
but if you
give or take,
if you got to pee after that, dude, go. You're fine.
Yeah.
Don't stick around.
But no, it was paced well. It was acted well. It was written well. I don't think I had any problems with it at all.
The transition from being like a period kind of historical drama to like a horror movie, I feel like that transition was handled really, really well. Like it was very seamless.
I tell you, I felt like some black folk though. I'm like, bro, don't go outside. What?
Dude,
when the store owner's husband's like, I'll go get the car and bring it around. I'm like, nah, son, you ain't bringing that car around.
My man was in Scream. I'll be right back. No, you won't.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Cornbread out there trying to take a shit. Last shit he'll ever take.
Yeah, I wish the trailers wouldn't have ruined so.
But that's trailers today though. That's the problem.
It is.
So it was just that and I said it, I think, when I first saw that second or third trailer, was like, why are you showing this person transitioned in the trailer?
Right.
Let that just happen and people don't know about it. Because now I'm like, okay, I know this person, for those who haven't seen it, I'm not going to say, but this person is going to change. And I'm waiting for it. It's like, okay, here we go. Now it's happening. It was like what a crock of shit.
By the way, it's far enough along. I think spoilers is fine.
Is it? I don't know.
I mean, it's coming out in Prime. It's coming out in Prime in like 2 weeks. So like,
oh, you said July?
No, June.
Goddamn.
Because they released their highlights video of what's premiering on Amazon Prime, and the cover, the thumbnail was Sinners. And I was like, damn, okay.
God dog, man. Okay, that is kind of cool.
Kugler's getting that fucking money.
Yeah, he is.
But I
wonder who's gonna get that one. Like, which streaming service?
It's on Prime.
Oh, you said
he did just say Prime. He did.
Yeah. Amazon.
But is it coming to Prime, or is it like to rent on Prime? Like,
I was
stream on Prime.
The renting starts tomorrow.
It's probably going to be rented on Prime.
Yeah, the renting starts tomorrow.
Sorry, I guess Prime Video, right? Like, because that covers both paid and free.
Yeah,
but it'll be in the Amazon ecosystem. There we go.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because it's because I thought everybody could rent it come tomorrow or Tuesday.
Yeah, you can get it on like Finding or some shit.
Oh, okay.
Right. But when it comes to free streaming, that's gonna be Prime. Or do we not know?
It's a Warner Brothers movie, so Max.
So Max, that should be Max then.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it's HBO Max again. They changed it back.
What, they went back?
Yeah.
When the fuck that happened? Seriously.
2 weeks ago or something.
I just watched Mickey 17 and it was on Max. It was not on HBO
Or
Max.
it's about to change,
Okay.
but they are changing it back. Yeah.
Good, because that was dumb. I thought Max was Cinemax the whole time.
Right?
Sorry, new to Prime 2025. So I guess.
So does that mean new for free streaming or new for rental?
It's just announcing dates of when these things will be available on Prime. They're not indicating on if it's pay or free.
Oh, okay.
So we'll know soon enough. So I will update the story.
Oh, X-Files. That's what he's making. Coogler's making X-Files.
A TV show?
It says Untitled
same
X-Files
cast?
reboot.
Oh,
He said Jillian might show up. He's talked to her. I didn't hear anything about the Duchovny though, and there's shit on IMDb about it.
Oh my god, you got me on a rabbit hole. Max is changing its name back to HBO Max to cut down confusion. They didn't think that was going to be a problem. Like seriously, they didn't think about that ahead of time.
They've made so many. I mean, both them and WB have made so many fucking terrible decisions over the last 2 years. Like,
I mean, okay, and Jillian coming back, fine. Maybe they'll make her like the head of the FBI, or you know what I mean?
she'll
They
cameo.
don't need to let her. Yeah, they don't need to let her be the guy, quote unquote, the guy. Kind of like Law and Order, right? When
I don't know
Jack
Han Solo was
going
to be an Ironheart. Huh.
Yeah, you didn't see that trailer?
Like I said, I didn't recognize him.
Oh, I stood out right away to me.
I'll pay more attention to it.
So I just looked up Sinners on Amazon Prime, and there's Sinners bonus X-ray edition, but it doesn't say what that means.
Ooh.
I heard X-rated edition.
Hells yeah. Where's Haley at? She was the only woman in that movie.
No, there was the dude's wife at the
store owner's wife.
Look at me being racist.
There was
and there was the black girl, the big black girl that was other dude's girlfriend, mother of his baby.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Huh.
Dang, hateful ass.
Racist.
The Asian woman?
Yeah.
I don't see color. Just white people.
Shit.
Just white women.
I mean, I hear you there.
And she's not even all the way white.
That's such a dumb
yeah.
detail by pausing the movie and interacting with on-screen controls. That I hate that name. I don't like that name at all.
The name probably. I like the idea.
I mean, the idea is fine because it's just
like built-in pop-up video.
Pop-up video, but
yeah,
X-ray edition, like, I don't know. Whatever.
Go back. You know what? They just need to make a porn and call it Skinners, and it'll be an X-ray.
I guarantee you that there's already a Skinners. All right, fine. I'm ruining my Google search right now. So.
Bro, you just saved me a click because I was about to go look. Because I was like, man, I wonder if there is. But yeah, I really enjoyed that movie. I told everybody go watch it. I was like, dude, you would not be sad if you paid full price for this movie. Is what I told them. So yeah, I totally happy. What about Thunderbolts?
I liked it.
I mean, 10 minutes.
It didn't add to the overall MCU. Honestly,
you don't think so? Adding another Avenger team? That's all it added.
But... Yeah, I mean, it didn't like forward any like multiversal kind of whatever bullshit they're doing. It was just getting back a bunch of cool characters back together to have an adventure, which is fine. I'm fine with that. Yeah,
it was. I mean, that whole buddy cop movie, but they did it with 5 people. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
But all said and done, and the end credit scene. I don't know. Are we past spoilers yet?
Yeah.
Thunderbolt's been out for a while.
Yeah.
The end credit scene with the Fantastic Four ship. I mean, and they did talk about anomalies, so at least they know stuff's going on with the multiverse. So it's not going to be like, oh, what's going on here? They already had an idea, so that's kind of cool. Did notice accidentally, only because I was almost immediately after that watching the Fantastic Four trailer. The ship's different. The ship that showed up in End of Thunderbolts is different than the ship from the trailers that we've seen. So
what does
makes
that
you wonder exactly.
They built a multiversal ship.
Is it
or
because
it's
the
a different Fantastic Four?
Or more people? Is it a cargo ship to hold more people that got out of Fantastic Four's type of thing? It's like, why did Fantastic Four leave their universe? So it's like that's kind of a spoiler for the Fantastic Four movie. It's like I didn't like that part. But it was kind of interesting that.
But I mean, they've told you that Fantastic Four doesn't take place in the MCU, so that's not a surprise.
But there could be a version of the Fantastic Four that exists in the MCU.
Well, no, Fantastic Four is in the MCU, just not that universe, that
Right.
666 or whatever the hell it's called, 9999 or whatever the hell.
You have to ask Miss Marvel. She's the one that calls out Feige on that
was
shit.
Was it 13?
Yeah,
1313?
No, it's like 9999 or something.
19999 is one version, or the 666 or
the 616 is what the comics are supposed to be. But I guess Mysterio mentioned it in No Way Home, and that pissed off Miss Marvel. She's like, "Bro, you guys done fucked up."
Yep. So now they got to fix that, and then like Deadpool is in like 1063 or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, whatever, some bullshit.
Whatever.
Earth 616. That is the main.
That is the main MCU.
The main MCU continuity.
Right. But again, Fantastic Four is still in the MCU, just not in 616.
Yeah. Right.
Just the same way Deadpool.
Yeah. So.
But overall, though, I thought Thunderbolts was fine. It was. I liked that they made it more of an emotional story, trying to deal with Bob. So I thought that was kind of cool. I did not see that coming. Was not expecting that at all, and I was like, all right. I like this. I like that aspect of it for sure.
I appreciated the fact that they didn't drag it out where she like controlled Bob for like 3 movies or something before he finally realized, oh, I don't actually have to listen to you because I'm a fucking god, so fuck you. Like,
right.
It was like 5 minutes of one fight, and he was like, oh wait,
I can do this.
She is such a good bad guy.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Well, she's shameless.
Dreyfus.
She's so shameless. Like she just doesn't. She is always looking for the angle, like regardless of how.
And she is always ahead of everyone too.
Yeah, regardless
of. At the end, I was like, they're getting her, and then bam, she's a good guy again.
Oh, you didn't see that coming? Oh, I saw that coming. The whole how they're gonna set it up and spin it. I was like, matter of fact, when she was kind of like, oh, come on, I'm over here, come on over here. I'm like,
she's on something.
I could figure because they were talking about the media earlier in that act. So when they did it, it was just like, oh my god, she's so good at this.
When they're
and then they crossed the curtain. It was like
when they're crawling up the elevator shaft and they're arguing about their shoes and their suits and how sweaty everybody got and slippery.
Yep.
I thought the interactions between all the different characters they worked really well. Like and again, I mean, they have to. Here's the thing: for Doomsday, they have to have these teams, like because it's not going to be individual people. So the next 2 years or the next year is just going to be them building and establishing who these teams are, right, and creating the relationships between those characters. So when ultimately they die, you care about.
We're
that,
sad about
right?
it. Yeah. They can't kill Yelena though.
Well, again, it's the
unacceptable.
It's the end game, right? Like how many Spider-Man dying, flipping, right? Like, that type of thing. So that's what they're doing now is just laying, which is fine. Again, I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was a really good movie. I enjoyed it.
Now that you said that, I wonder if the Spider-Man movie is going to tie into this whole bigger story.
Right. I mean, it has to because he's still going to be around for.
He doesn't have to. His movie is Sony, and they don't have to do shit to require them to cooperate completely with the MCU. I'm not saying he's not going to be in the movie. I'm just saying, is their movie going to tie into it?
Yeah. I think this is the last Sony movie, isn't it?
The last one I think they have on contract for.
And then they have to put out another one in like 2 years or 3 years for the contract to continue.
Or lose the rights type thing. Yeah.
I say let them lose them. Fuck it.
Yep. Fuck.
I still don't. I've watched a couple of videos where people are like, it doesn't make any sense why Sony just can't make a deal with Marvel and just say, look, like we'll take 50% of whatever movies that Spider-Man's in, the profit, right? Like, or whatever, right? I
think. Go ahead, finish that thought.
Well, just that like because Sony is just fisting themselves so bad with the Spider-Man universe so far that it doesn't like it. They're losing. They're losing.
Try to connect it.
They're losing more money than if they just sold the rights back to Marvel with like some sort of deal of the next 5 years we get points on any movie that he's in, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's why I think they're not. Because first of all, I agree with you. I think that would be nice. However, I think they see potential because of the animated Spider-Man movies that have done so freaking well that they're and they delayed the next part again, to get it right. And I also think delayed it to figure out how they can pull live action in with that so they can go off on their own tangent and make that animated money in the live action. So that's why I think they're not caving yet.
I hope you're
because they think they can do it.
I hope you're right, but so far Sony has shown me that they are not smart enough. Like,
Oh yeah.
I wish you were right.
I think
like,
what has to happen. No, I agree with you. I think what has to happen for that to work is you take the creative team from the animated stuff and somehow have them put together the live action story and stuff like that.
To me, you have to replicate what Marvel and DC have both done. You have your own universe. You have to have somebody who's in charge of it. You have to have somebody where the buck stops with them, right? Whether it's somebody from the animated series, one of the directors, you just promote him to the Feige role, right? The Filoni role of he is the fucking buck stops with him. He is the decision maker. And it's somebody who cares about the character and cares about the universe and is going to make the decisions the best for those characters, as opposed to like the corporate heads that are making the decisions now that obviously have no
They're just
idea.
looking at the dollars.
They have no. Well, they're not even looking at the dollars because they're throwing money away every single time they make one of these movies. So, but they probably won't because that would require them to be smart, and Sony has proven themselves not.
What do we know? We're poor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Lou's
mean,
got titties flashed at him.
no, I heard something. I was like, what is that? And then when it wasn't anything. The doors were closed. But when I looked over, something caught my eye. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Titties.
It's the what's it called?
It's the balls. The
Titties.
balls.
Like,
It was the balls.
It was Jack's balls. Just like, oh, hang on. Oh, all right, Jack's balls. Okay.
Take off the ball. It was an oven mitt. It was like, what is that thing hanging on the wall? I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot I have an oven mitt over there.
The oven mitt that's been there for
so adult.
the oven mitt that's been there for 3 years. Wait, oh shit, you're right. Oven mitt.
Yeah, it's been there for 11.
I keep forgetting I have that there.
You're like, get it right. Oh, I don't fucking use it because I use my air fryer for everything now, so I really don't get into the oven. So it's just kind of hanging on the wall to be a decoration.
So he
I
looks
think
like
I've
a
used
grown-up.
it twice or 3 times.
It's so when his mom comes over, she's like, "Oh, good, you're being safe."
Yeah.
Right?
And then she goes, into the bedroom and opens the drawer and sees all the condoms. Like, good, you're still being safe. And he's like, hee. Number 1, they don't fit. Number 2,
I ain't got to worry about that, so I'm good. I got the opposite situation Jack got. Jack got his stuff taken care of. Mine's not, but hers is. So we're good. But no, I don't know if I've opened or used that oven maybe 3 times in the last year. I got the air fryer like 2 years ago, and that's been like the dominant thing to use. So that thing's fantastic. But yeah, so hopefully Spider-Man gets their head out of their ass. Sony gets their head out of their ass. I mean, 10%, I'll give them a 10% chance. But that's why I think they're not doing it. I think they're trying to succeed and piggyback with the animated show.
and what else does Sony have? I mean, really.
Venom.
But I mean, that's part of the Spider-Man universe. I was talking about other IP.
Oh,
right?
besides the side?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's a good point. What do they have?
I don't know.
You're right.
So-
Paramount is Mission Impossible, right? Well, okay, God of War, like what
Right.
all the PlayStation movies that
they're
come up
making a
with.
Death Stranding movie, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that a game?
Yeah.
Okay, I was like,
You make roads.
that sounds like Settlers of Catan. I'll watch that. I'm gonna hog the ore. Screw y'all. We're trading 3-1 every time. My favorite. Oh my god. See, we got through those 2 movies
Boom.
in
29 minutes.
23 minutes. I thought you said it was like 07. We had, it was an hour 7. Now it's an hour 31. Boom, got it done.
And Lou got to tell a story about his fucking oven mitt. So
Yep.
Yeah, hell yeah. It caught my eye, man. It's like you never know. You guys got a Tuesday movie this week?
no, there's
No,
nothing-
I'm working again.
nothing. I mean, last week my friends went. I was sorry. Go ahead, Lou. I cut you off.
No. I was clearing the throat.
I was going to go see Mission Impossible, but it was the day before my colonoscopy. So probably like I did not want to sit in the theater drinking the vial of the most disgusting foul liquid created known to man while popping laxatives while trying to sit in a 3-hour movie because I was like, sorry guys,
2 hours.
I don't think I can
49.
go because I'm not supposed to eat or drink and I'm supposed to do this hideous thing that, and like they texted me. I texted them at like 9:30. The movie started at 7:30. I got a text from them at 10:45. Oh, we just got out of the movie, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so glad I didn't go, because that would have been
Yeah.
such a fucking waste of money.
Bruh. You don't look. I look every movie how long it is. This one is 2 hours 49.
Fuck that, dude. So that means it's 3.5 hours with trailers. Fuck you.
Yep. 320. You're gonna be sitting in the theater for 320 minimum.
And again, I haven't seen it, but both of them were like mildly disappointed. Going back to what we were talking about before.
Yeah, I've heard it's not a great ending to the.
But going
franchise.
back to what I was saying before is it seems like they had a bunch of set pieces that they then had to like get from point A to point B.
A to B.
And there seemed to be some parts of the movie where it was very like contrived to just be like, look at Tom Cruise being crazy, this is actually him, type of thing.
All
So
right.
I mean,
still on my list.
yeah. It's definitely a Tuesday movie, and I might go check it out.
Yeah.
But
I'm hoping. Oh man, it might be a minute for me because I've got 3 Tuesday meetings in a row. 3, 10, 17. Maybe not 17. I need to double check that. But if I do, then I won't watch it till the 17th. If not, can't be till the 24th. Especially being at 2:49. If it like I have a meeting that ends quickly, no big deal. I can go watch it, and be out of there. But to know I'll get 3.5 hours, no. So this week, I expect my meeting to be done before or around 7 or so. So we're gonna watch Karate Kid since it's only an hour and a half, hour 34.
I still haven't watched the first one with Jackie Chan and Will Smith Jr.
Okay.
I'm like, maybe I should wait.
I saw it when it hit streaming, so I'm curious. You know what? After I watch it Tuesday, I'll let you know if you need to, because you may not.
I mean, probably not, because Jaden's not in it. So I mean,
yeah, exactly. Unless there's some kind of cameo that he's gonna have, or they're gonna have.
Let me see. I don't think there's for June 3rd. I don't think. Bring Her Back, Karate Kid Legends.
Bring Her Back look weird.
That shit look creepy as
fuck. Creepy weird.
Lilo and Stitch, Mission Impossible.
Already saw it.
Final Destination, Bloodlines, Thunderbolt, Sinners.
Oh yeah, Final Destination. That was entertaining. I hated the end, but it was still entertaining.
Have not seen it yet, but
okay, then I won't talk about it.
On the list.
It's good that you already went to the Tokyo Tower. Just saying.
Ain't that the truth?
And I was in Seattle this weekend, so we have. But I did not go up into the Space Needle.
I do like. I mean, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but because how they always have whatever vision you're gonna have, and they backtrack and all that. It's like, okay, here's the starting point of here's what not to do. I like that this movie didn't give it away so quickly.
Yes,
that was kind of cool because I'm sitting there like, okay, where's the backtrack gonna happen?
Right.
And they didn't tell us until like almost the end of the movie.
Yeah,
and it was super cool that they did that.
Was the Tony Todd? Was his cameo? Was it good?
Yeah,
good. I read a couple of things that said they did him a solid. So
I agree. They absolutely did.
It was one of those things where it's like I think the story I read he like when he figured out he was gonna die or had gotten like his diagnosis, that he was like, I want to be like. We need to do something, but we need to do it
on this movie.
We need to do it right now. Like,
yeah,
I have and like 3 weeks. Let's fucking go.
Yeah,
like,
and the director was like, "Bro, just say what you want," and you're like, "Oh," and he was looking at the audience, right, when he said all that. So
it was super cool. It was well done. I agree. I did not realize. I mean, you can tell looking at him, he was sick, but
for sure.
I was. Matter of fact, I was surprised he got up during that scene.
Yes.
I was all like, oh, smart to keep him seated the whole time. And then I'm like, I doubt he's going to get up. And then when he was done, he stood up. I was like, oh, shit, didn't see that coming. Yep. It was well done. Again, the movie
Chadwick that shit. Faked it. He's like, bam, I'm up.
He really did. And then just like, hey, guys. But again, I can't ruin it for Duke, but I just didn't care for the last 5 minutes of it.
And then 2 weeks, we have the Ballerina.
Wait. They changed the date? That was supposed to be June 6th.
The 10th is the Tuesday after it comes out. So I'm going.
He's going movie. Tightwads.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not 2 weeks. That's a week from Tuesday. That's next Tuesday.
No, today's the 1st. So I was saying there's nothing this upcoming Tuesday, the following Tuesday, so the second Tuesday. So
you're counting. Okay, I'm counting 14 days this 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I got you.
I'm just going Tuesday.
2 Tuesdays.
2 Tuesdays.
I don't know that I want to wait till Tuesday for that one. That might be. I won't say.
I
opening
did see
night.
that takes place between 3 and 4 though.
So he won't have a finger. Got it. Okay. That's good to know that. Okay, cool. But yeah, I have a feeling that's going to be because that's this weekend, which means that's probably a Sunday matinee.
And then the week after that'll be How to Train Your Dragon. Looks like the big movie of that week, the live action.
Mm-hmm.
The week after that will be 28 years later, and Elio, a Disney Pixar movie. One more time. You what? Sorry.
I hate that there's no 28 months later.
When we went to go to the movies sometime, we walked by the poster and I was telling that to my big one, and since she's like you, she's like, that is fucking stupid. I'm like,
yes.
And then the week before the 4th of July is F1, the movie.
You know what? Okay, I saw a recent trailer of that one. It looks better than the first trailer I saw. And yeah, I'm more into that movie now than I was before.
Pretty cool. They filmed some stuff in Vegas, like during the
race.
Yeah.
So they could take advantage of the sets.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. That's super cool.
And actually, I think
you said that's July 4th weekend.
Yeah. Well, it comes out the week before, so July 4th is a Thursday or Friday.
It's Friday.
Friday. So the week before going into that weekend. So
the 27th.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
and Elio's the alien one.
Yeah, like a Disney Pixar. Yeah. Alien. Oh, it's like the alien that's weird and doesn't have any friends or something like that.
Yeah, the kid he doesn't have any friends, and the aliens are like, "Oh, you're the leader of Earth? Cool."
So
I'll be watching that one for
the kiddos.
Not free-ish, but included in my vacation.
Oh, gotcha. That's kind of cool. Well, that was so funny how that just happened. It was like, hey, Lou said bye.
Yep.
Yep. What are we doing for next week? Do we have a plan?
We'll talk about it later.
We're just gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Seat of our pants.
Edge of our seats, bruh.
Yeah.
Right.
You pay for the whole seat, but you're only gonna need the edge.
And we record on Sunday.
Sunday. The priest.
And we're out.
or not.
Yeah. It's out eventually. I don't know.